Welcome back to another episode of 40 Facts about the 40k universe. I am your host Gershwin, and today we're going to be talking about the Harlequins. So sit back, relax, and let's listen to these 40 facts about the Harlequin. A Harlequin is a member of a very distinct subgroup of the Eldar race. They are the keepers of the Black Library and serve the enigmatic Eldar deity called the Laughing God, and they are a playable race within the Warhammer 40k game. A Harlequin is known in the Eldar lexicon as Harlequin. Harlequins are undeniably part of the Eldar race, yet they owe no allegiance to any given craft world or cabal. Harlequin are known for their brightly colored clothing, incredible agility, even for an Eldar. Harlequins are welcomed by all other Eldar factions, including the Dark Eldar of Kamara and the Webway. Harlequins are often credited with supernatural powers, and many amongst both Eldar and Dark Eldar society believe that the Harlequins know most, if not all, of the secret paths through the endless maze of the Webway. The central figure of the Harlequin belief is Kegrach, the Great Harlequin, or also known as the Laughing God. The Laughing God is the only authority that the Harlequins recognize, and their every deed is thought to be in the furtherance of their own agenda. Sinister and mysterious, they wage a never-ending guerrilla war against the servants of the ruinous power in the name of their Laughing God. Before the fall, the Eldar race chose to ignore the ancient pantheon of Eldar gods, and in return, the Eldar gods turned their back on the Eldar race. To learn more about the fall of the Eldar, please check out our Eldar and Dark Eldar 40 fact video. Slaanesh was birthed from all excess the Eldars chose to indulge in. Slaanesh consumed everything she could. Millions of Eldar lives were consumed as well as any other sentient life within its grasp. Slaanesh consumed almost all the ancient deities as well. It is believed that the deity of the Laughing God escaped Slaanesh by going into the bounds of the Webway, existing there still behind myriad disguises and mocking Slaanesh from behind the veil. All Eldar know the tale of the fall, yet not all know that when the Eldars fled their doom, they took with them the seed of the Laughing God's vengeance. These individuals, the worshippers of the Laughing God, would find purpose in the years to come. In the wake of the fall, the surviving worshippers of the Laughing God disappeared into the Webway without a word of explanation. After centuries of isolation, the followers of the Laughing God return in spectacular fashion. The masks of midnight sorrow bursted from the Webway at Lion Nuh to fall upon the hordes of Slaaneshi demon. The intervention rescues the embattled war host of the Althway, and with their strength combined with the Eldar, they hurl the demonic foe back into the warp. The Harlequins possess a ritual duty. They travel between the realms of their divided kin, the craft worlds, the exedited worlds, and the dark cities of the Common Ra, performing the dances and plays of the Eldar mythic cycle. The Dance Without End gives the first ever performance of the fall. Their audience are horrified, not least by the disturbing figure of the galaxy's first solitaire as she brazenly bestrides the stage. The Harlequins are nomads, their warrior bands treading the secret paths of the labyrinth realm known as the Webway. They have waged their clandestine war against She Who Thirsts. The population of whole systems, sometimes entire species, have been spared the horror of the demonic incursions without ever knowing that the threat even existed, thanks to the Harlequins. Viewed with superstitious awe, these ritual performances remind the Eldar of the gods they once knew and of the fall of their ancient race, ensuring that their people retain some semblance of racial unity. When war calls and the day is sufficiently dark, the Harlequins often broker temporary alliances between their Comorites and Craftworld kin. A single Harlequin in battle is a player upon a stage. An entire army of them is a performing company with a bloody tale to tell. Known as masks, these warbands fight with breathtaking synchronicity. It is said that the Laughing God is the only being in existence who knows every single path through the webway. This might explain how his disciples possess such an intimate knowledge of its twists and turns. For the Harlequins walk the webway without fear, appearing and disappearing at will. It is said the Harlequins who watch over the Black Library alongside its dark guardians and use its secrets to gain the upper hand in their war against chaos. In recent years, the Harlequins' war against chaos has been characterized by a newly found urgency. Full masks have become an ever-common sight among the stars. More and more Eldar vanish from the webway, forsaking their former lives to take up the Harlequin's mask. The Harlequins' numbers are growing, and many among the Eldar wonder why. At the very heart of the Black Library there lies a silver-lit vault. Within it is a crystalline book, said to contain the words of the Laughing God himself. Since the fall, the tome's cover have remained closed, sealed shut with flickering chains of light. Yet now a fallen sorcerer seeks the lore of the library. The champion of the Chaos powers also prepare to seize the Black Library. The tome has been opened, and the content inside the scriptures explains the Laughing God's plan, known as the Final Act. The fate of the Eldar has always been understood, that the Chaos would see victory during the last mythic battle known to the Eldar as the Rana Dandra. But the final act shows how the Laughing God will find a way to trick Slaanesh into expanding all her power, not to destroy the Eldar, but to save them. This belief is reinforced by fate alone. The Harlequin have began the steps of their final dance, and will see it completed or else face absolute destruction in the attempt. Harlequins travel in masks, large ensembles that perform and fight together. A mask is an army and a company of players both. It has no formal leader, being instead a collective of like-minded devotees to the Laughing God. The organization of a Harlequin mask is unusual by the standards of most forces fighting in the Dark Millennium. After all, it is formed from multiple bands of dancers, mimes, and other performers. Each member of the mask is a player in the grand performance. Each perform a part, taking up the role of some character from the mythic cycle. The organizational structure of a mask hail from ancient days, when the devotees of the Laughing God were theatrical performers first and foremost. Some roles are reserved for specific members of the mask, for only a death gesture may play the role of death. The most ominous role of all is that of the solitaire, for it is the solitaire alone who may take on the role of she who thirsts, Slaanesh, the great and the hated enemy of all Eldar. And those were 40 facts about the Harlequin. Now, of course, there's more lore to come for these guys. We can go into their weapons, their fighting styles, all that good stuff. Just be sure to subscribe to the channel to get part 2. Also, check out the channel and subscribe if you haven't already, because we have other 40k lore videos. So just browse our video inventory and check out the ones you love. And this was Gersh1 with One Mind Syndicate, signing out.